Hi, I'm Dr. Marcia Sirota, and today I want to talk about the 6 things that we do that could sabotage our love life. Now, the first thing that we can do is at the beginning of the relationship, ignoring the red flags. There are always behaviors that we observe at the very beginning. Some are either good, some are possibly bad. But if we ignore those red flags, those signs that there might be a real problem, we put ourselves in a very bad situation because those red flags mean something. They're not just random, insignificant events or experiences. They actually have a lot of meaning and they're warnings to us. That's why they're called red flags. And if we ignore the warnings, we do that at our own peril. The second thing that we can do in a relationship that will sabotage it is holding on to false hope that the other person will change. When we get involved with somebody, we really need to know that what we see is what we get. And if we keep hoping that this person is going to change or transform, we're going to wait for something that's not going to happen. Now, sometimes people do change, but they don't change because we want them to, and they don't change because we wait for them to do so. They only change if it's something that they really want to do for themselves. They won't do it for us. So if we're waiting for someone to change for us, we're going to be holding our breaths and it's not going to help. We're going to do it till our face turns blue. So we need to recognize that the person who's there with us is the person that we've got. And if we're not happy with that person, we need to deal with that, not keep holding on to this false hope of some type of change. The third thing that we do that can sabotage our love life is being too nice. When we're too nice, we avoid expressing our real needs and feelings because we feel like the person might not like it. They might be offended. They might get mad. But by not being honest and authentic with the other person, they don't really know who we are, and we are not being sincere. So the person can't really have love for us because the person we're pretending to be is not who we really are. Also, we're never going to get our needs met if we don't express those needs. So we're going to be constantly thwarted and frustrated. The person is loving a version of ourselves that's not real. It's never going to be a satisfying relationship. So we really have nothing to lose and everything to gain by being sincere, by being honest, authentic, genuine, expressing our feelings, expressing our needs, expressing our opinion. And if the other person has a problem with it, we can try to negotiate it, discuss it. And if they still have a problem with it and the relationship ends, at least we know that this person is not the right fit for us. We're not the right fit for them. But if we keep pretending to be something we're not, we might be with someone who we're not compatible with because we're trying so hard to please them. The fourth thing that we do that can sabotage our love life is settling for less than we deserve. I've spoken to so many patients over the years who say, well, this is the best I can do. And I always say, no, you can do so much better. They're talking about people who are hypercritical, who are never available, who are silent and don't communicate how they feel. They're constantly frustrated or upset by these people. And they say, well, it's the best I can do. And I always say, no, just because you might have had a bad childhood, your parents are not the only kind of person in the world. If your father was aggressive and your mother was abandoning, it doesn't mean that your partner will be one or both of these things. You need to understand that there are a lot of different kinds of people in the world and you deserve the best just for you. So never settle for less. Always hope and wait and always hold out for somebody who's going to treat you in the way that really makes you happy. Hold out for something better. Don't hope and wait during a relationship, but hope and wait while you're single to meet somebody who really will fulfill all your needs or as much of them as possible. Because if you're hoping and waiting during the relationship, as I said, it's not going to happen. But if you're hoping and waiting and looking carefully for somebody who's really right for you, you're much more likely to get that than just jumping to the first person who shows any interest, even if they're not really suitable for you. The fifth pitfall that we can get into that will sabotage our love life is taking advice from the wrong people. In a previous video, I talked about frenemies and how frenemies always give you advice that's good for them, but not for you. There are also people who mean well, but they might be giving you advice because they just don't understand the situation or they don't appreciate the nuances. And taking advice from them will often be not good for you. So I've heard a lot of people tell me in my practice that their friends told them, give them another chance, give them another chance. And this is after pretty bad behavior. Give them another chance. And some of these people really don't deserve another chance. But, the friends or the family members say, oh, give them another chance. And so what happens is they give them another chance to repeat the bad behavior and hurt them again. I've never seen that giving them another chance when they've done something really bad works out. It's just usually giving them another chance to continue doing bad things. So be careful about who's giving you advice. If the person who's giving you advice has a phenomenal relationship that's lasted a long time, it's really mutual and supportive and they're just thriving together, okay, maybe you can listen to their advice. But if these are ordinary people who struggle with their own relationships, maybe think about who's giving you the advice. Also, think about what they want for you. Do they want the best for you? Or are they a frenemy who is just, trying to keep you down and keep you single perhaps so that you can be in that one down position? And the final and sixth thing that we do that could sabotage our love life is staying too long in a relationship that isn't working. A lot of people stay too long because they're holding on to that false hope. I'm going to stick around because maybe they'll change. Maybe they'll get better. Maybe I'll be happier. Maybe I'll be more fulfilled. Maybe I won't be so miserable in this relationship. Well, that's not going to work. And another reason people stay too long in a relationship is because they're afraid to be alone. Well, it's better to be with somebody than it is to be alone. But if you're staying in a bad relationship because you're afraid of being alone, then you never get to be in a good relationship. Whereas if you walk away from the bad relationship and you free yourself up, then you'll be there to meet somebody who could really make you happy. So staying in a bad relationship prevents you from meeting someone who could actually make you happy. So don't stay in a bad relationship. Don't stay because you're waiting for them to change, because that's not going to happen. And don't stay because you're afraid to be alone, because it's better to be alone and open to something better than it is to be miserable forever. I'm Dr. Marcia Sirota, talking to you today about the 6 things that we do that could sabotage our love life, and hoping for you to find love and happiness in the springtime moving forward.